Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, we're going to talk about EFS, which is Elastic File System. So we can just go ahead and type in EFS. And then we click here. Then you're gonna wanna go here and click on create EFS. Now, by the way, what is EFS? Let's check this out.
Amazon EFS is a cloud-native data store that provides simple, scalable, elastic shared file storage for Linux-based business applications. It can grow to petabytes while delivering consistent low latencies and high levels of throughput. And it's fully managed, so you don't have to worry about ongoing maintenance. Amazon EFS is easy to set up. Simply use the AWS Management Console, API, or command line interface to create a file system and make it available to one or more Amazon VPCs. Your EC2 instances can securely then mount your file system to store and access data. You can also mount on-premises servers to EFS using AWS Direct Connect or AWS VPN, making it easy to migrate data to EFS, enable cloud bursting, or back up your on-premises data to EFS. EFS file systems are elastic and automatically grow and shrink as you add and remove files. You can choose between two performance modes so that you can tailor your file system performance to your application needs. Throughput for a file system scales automatically as capacity grows. For workloads with high throughput requirements and low capacity needs, throughput can be provisioned independent of capacity. For less frequently accessed data, you can configure EFS to store data in a cost-optimized infrequent access storage class. Amazon EFS works with the tools and applications you already use. It is designed for high availability and durability, storing your data redundantly across multiple availability zones. With EFS, you always have the capacity you need, when you need it, without having to provision storage in advance. Pay for only what you use with no minimum fees or setup costs. It eliminates storage administration tasks, so you can focus on more crucial business. To get started, visit aws.amazon.com/EFS and create your first file system in just a few clicks.
All right, guys. So basically, there's no need to talk more about EFS since this video is already giving you a whole description about EFS. So at Frank, Amazon Elastic File System provides a simple, scalable, fully managed Elastic NFS file system to use on AWS cloud services and on-premises resources. So let's go ahead and create one. So click here on Create System, Create File System. So we can give it a name. You could call this let's call this let's call this let's call this our EFS. And then let's choose a default VPC. Let's click on Customize. Now, storage class, we would leave it as standard. You see, standard here says that store data redundantly across multiple AZ. So when the EFS, when an EFS system, when creating an EFS system, it's always good to click on Customize, because otherwise you won't have those options. But if you click here, by the way, if you want this to be in just one availability zone, so basically the standard is going to replicate your data into multiple availability zones. But if you click one zone, then you want to have main backup recovery. So it says store data redundantly within a single AZ. So that's if you want this to happen. So choose the availability zone where you want to create your file. But if you let it be standard, you will see it says it's automatically automatically back up your file system data with AWS, backup using recommended settings, additional pricing applies, whatever. So if you click down here, you see it says that like which you see it says that if you need to have like you see it's if you click down here, you see the lifecycle management. It says the EFS intelligence tier using lifecycle management to automatically archive the right price. So basically what that is that if you want to enable the AI, so it says transition into AI, transition file from the standard to standard infrequent access. So if you want your data to be in the AI for 30 days, and then the life cycle, we have the life cycle, so it's important, it is very important. This is the cost saving, right? This is the cost saving. And it is saying, okay, if my object are not being used very often, then transition them into a different access tier. Like this here, you could say either like first access tier. So that called the standard infrequent access storage class. So we are saying, okay, if a file has been accessed for 30 days, then transition it into an AI which going to save us some costs. And then you can transition it into IA on first access or never as you want. So now you have encryption that's already been enabled by default. You have the custom key management system. You can create one if you want to. There's no need for that. And this, as we perform this, now you could select the performance. So if you want, for performance mode, we can choose within general purpose and max. So we have the bursting, we have enhance, we have elastic recommended, so which we would rather leave that as default. Now, as we get to additional, we have the general purpose and max IO. So the general is already being being selected by default. Now it says choose a method for your file system throughput limits. So use this mode for workloads with unpredictable incoming and outgoing. With elastic mode, your throughput scale automatically, and you can only pay for what you use. So, and now it says set your file system performance mode based on the IOPS required. File system using elastic throughput mode only support general purpose performance mode. So, and for tags, let's see. We don't need that, so let's just click next. Now, when it's come to networking, it says the virtual private cloud. The VPC is already been selected one for us by default. Now, it gives us some security group. So we have the availability zone. We have zone A, B, C, D, E, and F. So that's pretty good. So we have a lot of availability zone. It gives us a subnet ID. The IP address is going to be provided automatically, but if you want to, you could create your own IP address. We have the security group, but if you want to, you could create our own default security group, which I will go do. Let's just go here. Let's just click on EFS. Ding. Let's go on all services. How about we just go here on EC2? Let's just click on security group and see security. Tell you what, let's just click on EC2. And as we get that, we can just click down on the left-hand side and see the security group. So there goes security group. Oh, you already have too much. I tell you what, let's just use an existing security group, my web server. Let's see if we can use this one. Because if we have that, there's no need. Yeah, there's my web server. So let's use that. There's no need to create a security group since we already have one. So let's remove that and let's add my web server. Remove this one. Web server. So we're gonna remove the default one and my web server. We get more than one. Let's remove that. So we could add security group on all of the availability zone, but we're not gonna create all these machines. We will just need two for the purpose of this demo. So the policy options, this is an advanced settings. So we're gonna get that, touch that later. So as for now, let's just click next and let's just review and create. Everything looks okay. Create. So now our security group is being created. I'm sorry, our EFS has been created. So the performance mode is general purpose. The throughput mode is elastic. The life cycle is transition into IA. Should have done that. Let's see. Transition into IA, 30 days. But this is good. In our first, so it's good. So basically, it looks like everything has been, the size is 6 gigabit, size in standard in one zone, bang, monitor, and tags. Now let's check on file system policy, access point. Let's go on networking. That's networking on application is the most interesting, especially for the purpose of this demo. So you have the availability zone is from East US 1B to F. So we have the mount target ID, we have the subnet ID, we have the mount target states creating the IP address. This is pretty neat. And then you have the network interface ID. Now seeing the security group here, but let's check on the replication. This looks, so we could create an application if you want to. Right then from there says replicate your file system to one additional AWS region at the same AWS region. So I don't need that. Let's just go ahead and create a web server and attach it into our EFS file today. So let's just click on EC2. So we go create. Let's go on instances. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna launch an instance. So let's call this my web server 1. I can name this my web server 1. My web server 1. I will scroll down. I will leave this as default. I can leave it, the image as Amazon Linux AWS. Scroll. I can give it a key pair, an existing one. Now network settings. With network settings, so with network settings, so it's gonna inherit a default. Let's check here. See edit. So it have a VPC. It have a VPC by default, no subnet. No, I have to create a subnet in order to attach my my EFS. So I'll choose the US East 1B. I could create a subnet here if I want to. So auto assign public IP, I can leave that enabled. Now for security group name, it gives me here one here by default. So this security group will be added to I'll tell you what. Let's see, because I should have a security group here. I don't need to create a security group. I can use my existing security group name, my web server. As long as I have a subnet, so there's no need to create a security group already since I'm already have one. Now let's see on advanced configuration, advanced network configuration. If you want to, you could attach a network interface into that and give it a description. Subnet ID, security group. So I don't need that. Now, keep in mind that when I come down here, it says that 0 files on the EFS files. So what you could do is you can get edit, and you can add. So you have the EFS, you can add an EFS. You can add an EFS, 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 you can add an EFS file system into this web server. So all you got to do, if you will, just says you currently have no file system on this instance, so to add a file system, choose add. So we could just click here, and it's kind of give us one here by default, which is our AFS. That's the name we give to it, availability web journal, web journal. So, and it's also give us, it's also have the EFS of the, have a drive mount to it, which is the MNT / that EFS / that FS1. So we're gonna let this attach to it, and we could leave everything else as default. And so you see it says that once you automatically create and attach security group to enable access to the file system, the security group will be automatically created and attached to this instance, and the selected file system to manually manage the security group, clear the checkbox. So automatically mount share file system by attaching required using data script. So I will leave everything else as default, and I will launch my instances. Now, as soon as this instance is being launched, let's just go on View, Instances. Let's go ahead and create another instance. Let's give it a name of my web server 2. I could give it a key pair that's already been, I can select the existing security group that I have. And here, tell you what, let's go on the network. Oh, so this already been there. So now let me mount the EFS file. Say add. What am I doing? It's not what I'm doing. Let me mount the EFS file that we created, so we could add volume. So see, what is this? Oh, okay. So you currently have no file. I see why. Let's go on the network, edit it. Then you choose a subnet. That's right. So I can put this on either, since I already have one on B, A, B, C. Let's choose this one. And now let's go down here. add a share. So now we have that, and let's go ahead and launch this. So that's all that we needed. So, okay, so now our instance is being launched. Let's view the instances. So now you see the web server one is already been launched. So let's see something. Instance state. Instance state equal running. So let's just go and select. Now, if we select this and we go to networking, and if we go to the EB, and now as we can see that this is on the, you can see now each availability zone has multiple security group. Availability zone, PPC ID. Now this is on East. This is on US East 1B. Now let's check for this one. Let's go on networking, and this is on East US 1C. Now let's see what's the security group for on this one. See something? Security. So they both are good. Okay. So now let's go ahead and learn. And connect to this instance via the EC2 instance connect. That's for instance. That's for web server 1. Let's do the same for web server 2. Should I just back out? Let's select it and let's connect to it. Let's connect to it. So this one is web server A, and this is web server 2. So let's see who am I? Who I am? Oh, who am I? So user EC2. So let's say we do ls sudo So let's say we do ls sudo. Let's say we do, let's go here. Sure. Let's go on the instances. See if we can get the drive. So I don't have. So on storage. So basically, the command that we need is so that's this one here. So it's ls /MT MNT EFS /EF1 and then /. So hold up. So it's MNT EFS. So it's ls /MNT /EFS /FS1. Okay, so it's FS1. Okay, so we ran the one command. So now I can, for example, verify the fact that the ls MNT EFS FS1, there is an EFS file system. Now we can create a file in it. Let's go ahead and create a file in it. We could do sudo su, and I could say echo I could do echo I am the primary web server, and close it, and then that quote, and then I can just copy this if you want to and just paste it here. So move on. Oh, sorry. So we move on and then make this be call this server.txt, and we hit enter. This echo sudo su echo and a quotation. See what I have done wrong now. It's EFS color, so I'm always making this mistake. It's EFS. There we go. FS1, I mean. So it's FS1. After EFS, it's FS1. So FS1. Okay. So now, if I do cat and then this entire file name right here, you would see, if I do cat and this entire file name right there, it should display I am the primary web server. So this file has been created into my EFS file system. Now, from the second server, let's check this out. I can show you. I could do ls and / c. Just remove some of them. Just want to remove some, but you could. Okay, so what I mean to do is ls / mnt / efs / fs1 / you will see the name that I give to the file. So I look for the file in it. So basically on the web server 2, my second EC2 instance, and I do an ls and then the file name system. So I look for the file in it. And as you can see, we also see this server.txx file is in it. So if I do cat, and I paste the file system, you could see that I'm the primary server. So you can see that the EFS file system is indeed mounted on a network drive onto both of my EC2 instance, or if you want to call it both of my web server. So they are in different availability zone, as you can tell. If you go here, so web server 1 is on the US East 1. And now let's deselect this. And the web server 2 is on US East 1C. So US East 1C for web server 2, and US East 1B for web server 1. But the magic of the EFS is that although they are in different availability zone, they all share the same EFS. So that's very awesome. And that's a different kind of storage that you had the demo on it right now. So it's the EFS demo, guys. Now, I'm glad we went over this with multiple demonstration where you can see the magic behind the EFS. So stay tuned for another live configuration. You could clean up after yourself and just erase everything if you don't need these. Says auto scaling, load balance. All right, so let's just go on EC instances. And if you don't need these, you could just go here and terminate your instance. Let's terminate them since I don't really need them. I was just creating them for the purpose of this lecture.